Thank you, Russ. Good evening once again. It's 15 years since Leeds United last played in the Premier League. They've also had a spell in League One since then. Such were the problems at this famous old club. But there is a belief that this could be the year when they finally return to the big time. But as for Leeds, they've always done it the hard way, and they're doing it the hard way here at the moment. 5 defeats in their last 10 games have seen the closing pack in some cases overtake them, with Norwich and Sheffield United now ahead of them in the table. West Bromwich Albion are lurking just behind them. Maybe at times they've also underachieved this season, but they do have the experience to get back into the top flight at the first attempt. And while they've had problems at the Hawthorns this season, they have been immaculate on the road, and they come here tonight looking for their 5th successive away victory. Leeds have the joint best home record in the division, so something has to give on one of a number of big occasions coming up between now and the end of the season on the home of the EFL, TalkSport 2. And just listen to the noise inside Ellen Road tonight, a crowd of around 36,000. It can be a real fillip, Neil, to have these fans behind you, but it could also be a burden if things don't go well.
Yeah, it's a great point, Nigel, because Leeds United really need to start well. I think if they start on the front foot and put this West Brom side under pressure and get some early chances, and if they can get the noses in front, you'll see the roof come off this place, because, you know, they really are packed to the rafters.
A reminder of the two teams once again. Marcelo Bielsa gave us his side yesterday. It's Casilla in goal, Ayling, Janssen, Cooper and Alioski. Phillips will hold in midfield behind Hernandez, Roberts, Click and Harrison, with Bamford up front. On the bench, Peacock, Farrell the goalkeeper, Douglas, Dallas, Brown, Shackleton and Gotts. As for West Bromwich Albion, 2 changes from the side which were poor during that home defeat to Sheffield United last Saturday evening. And they will miss the experience of Kieran Gibbs at left back and Matty Phillips in the wide area in midfield. Toshin Adebayo comes back into the team, the youngster on loan from Manchester City, and Hal Robson-Kanu also returns following a spell out with injury. It is Johnston in goal, Holgate, Dawson, Hegazi and Adebayo the back 4, Harper, Barry, Livermore and Rodriguez in midfield, with Robson-Kanu and Gale in attack. And West Bromwich Albion, in their retro away kit of green and yellow stripes, will get the game underway. Tim Robinson, our referee. Leeds United, of course, in their famous all-white kit, and they will hope it will grace the Premier League next season. The footballing weekend is underway once again, and the only place to start it is here on the home of the EFL, TalkSport 2, as Leeds come forward quickly. A low ball cut across the penalty area towards Hernandez, who fires in the shot. What a start! 16 seconds gone. Pablo Hernandez lifts the roof of Ellen Road, and if there were nerves and if there was anxiety, that is the sort of goal to transform the mood. Leeds United 1, West Bromwich Albion 0.
Wow, what a start, what a strike from Pablo Hernandez. We talked about Leeds getting a really good start from this game, and it's exactly what's happened. It's the one man that's got the real quality in Leeds United's 11 to do that, and it's a superb finish from fully 20 yards out from Pablo Hernandez. Great start for Leeds.
From the kick-off, Harrison won the ball as West Brom gave it away, and then Hernandez was given the time to set himself, and it arrowed into the top left-hand corner. And for the second time in a matter of moments, Jay Rodriguez gets the game underway once again. And West Brom here, trailed by a goal to nil. They've got Leeds against them, and now they've got the crowd against them as well.
Yeah, it's been a great start by Leeds. It's exactly what they needed. Just looked a little bit light of bodies on that left-hand side. West Brom got a little bit isolated all game when Harrison picked it up. It's a great pick out to find Hernandez on the edge of the box, but what a finish.
Well, Pablo Hernandez can be a mercurial figure in the Leeds team, but when he plays, they play, even at the age of 33. That's his 8th goal of the season. And Marcelo Bielsa not perching on the edge of his bucket at the moment. He has stood inside the technical area, sipping on a cup of coffee. Darren Moore showing far more animation in front of the West Brom bench. What a start for his team to respond to, and now they will try and respond. Robson Kanu twisting and turning and fouled by Cooper on the edge of the penalty area, and it's a free kick 19 yards out, left of centre.
Yeah, it's great play by the experienced Kanu, because he'd nowhere to go really, and he managed to twist and turn and fashion an angle, and Alioski brings him down right on the D. Good finishing position here for West Brom to try and get an effort on target.
2.5 minutes played. Leeds lead by a goal to nil, and when they've scored first in 15 previous games in the Championship this season, they've won the lot. Gale is over the free kick for West Bromwich Albion. Gareth Barry also expressing an interest. Every single Leeds white shirt is back defending inside their penalty area. Incredible atmosphere inside the stadium at the start of this game. Gale is sizing this ball up. He will try and curl it right-footed. Agazi is on the end of the wall to try and make a nuisance of himself. Robinson now blows his whistle, and Gale curls it, and it pings off the top of the wall and loops behind for a corner.
Yeah, the wall's done its job, to be fair, Nigel. Set it up well. Casilla got enough bodies in there, got the angles right. It's a difficult free kick for Gale to try and fashion it and get it over the wall, but we've got to defend this corner now, Leeds.
And that's the 10th time this season as well that West Brom have conceded in the opening 15 minutes of games. They are often slow starters. Barry with the corner, swinging towards the near post. It's scraped away. Alioski will try and clear, but he rather boomed it into the shins of Hernandez, and it ricochets away on the far side for a throw-in to West Brom. 4 minutes played at Ellen Road on TalkSport 2. Leeds ahead by a goal to nil. Livermore on the far side will try and control and turn, but eventually Robson Kanu is held up, and it's a throw-in for West Bromwich Albion, dabbed over the top by Rodriguez, looking for Robson Kanu, and eventually it's gone behind for a goal kick at the Revy stand end of Ellen Road.
Yeah, they do look visibly shaken here, West Brom, Nigel. It's been such a fast, frantic start by Leeds, and to get the early goal has just knocked West Brom out of the stride a little bit. They need to gather themselves.
Well, Leeds with 11 wins, 3 draws and 3 defeats at home, the joint best record in the Championship with Sheffield United. West Brom the only side with 10 victories away from home so far this season, including their last 4 and 8 of the last 9. And really, with that sort of record, they should be higher than 4th in the table, but they've only won 1 in their last 8 at the Hawthorns. There's Casilla, the former Real Madrid goalkeeper, clips it wide to the far side, looking for Alioski with that shock of blonde hair, but he's fouled his man, Robson Kanu, and it will be a free kick for West Brom, which they take quickly, but too quickly really before they were set, and Dawson goes all the way back towards Sam Johnston.
Yeah, it didn't really make any sense that from Adebayo. Played that short and he wasn't ready for it, Barry. Put him under pressure.
Now Gale chasing a long ball forward, scored in each of his previous 3 appearances against Leeds for West Brom and Newcastle, but on this occasion the ball spins beyond him, and it will be a goal kick. And the Leeds crowd in great voice at the start of this game. And we spoke about the opening goal being so important, but nobody would have anticipated it so soon.
Yeah, it's such a great start, and it's given Leeds that momentum. It's going to be a real test, this, for West Brom, because, like you said, Nigel, not only have they got Leeds to contemplate playing against, you've also got the 36,000 crowd as well.
Leeds will go top if they win tonight. The current top 6, Norwich 66 points, Sheffield United and Leeds have 64, West Brom 60, Middlesbrough 57, Bristol City 53, as Bamford wins it now down the left hand side, drives it in, it takes a deflection off Dawson, and then Harrison goes tumbling as he makes his way into the penalty area. There were appeals for a penalty, mainly from the crowd, nothing given by the referee, and Phillips on the outside, the left, looks to go beyond the challenge of Holgate, but runs it out of play, and it will be a throw-in for West Bromwich Albion on the far side. And interestingly, Holgate is starting on the right, and Adebayo, a right-footed player, on the left in the absence of Kieran Gibbs. Now Leeds look to come forward again. Tenacious play from the former West Brom man Tyler Roberts, but West Brom will play it forward, but it's very quickly cut out by the cult hero here at Ellen Road, Pontus Jansson, and he runs it out of play, and it will be a throw-in. And already there is plenty of activity around the Leeds technical area. Bielsa is now perched on his bucket, but 3 members of his entourage are all out gesticulating towards the team. It's a lot more tranquil a few yards to the left, with only Darren Moore stood there for West Brom.
Yeah, he's looking to test Alioski there at left back. Robson Kanu. It's going to be a big test for Alioski. Not naturally a defender at left back, but has done well for Leeds there. But it's coming up against an experienced campaigner in Robson Kanu.
Adebayo goes back towards Ghazi, who was a doubt for this game. He almost gives the ball away. He does give the ball away. It's won back by Bamford, but it spins into the path of Gale, who will try and come over the halfway line. He finds Rodriguez, and there's a battle of the ponytails there as Rodriguez is challenged by Ayling, and it spins out of play for a throw-in. And Graham Jones, the assistant manager, is just telling the West Brom players to calm down here, because it's all a bit frenetic at the start of this game as they chase the game, trailing by a goal to nil. Rodriguez finds Gale now, cutting inside from the left-hand side. He runs into Alioski. No free kick given though, and Hernandez, the goal scorer, with the orange boots, will bring it forward now for Leeds. Clips it wide to the far side over the head of Roberts, and it's out of play for a throw-in.
Yeah, he's unlucky there, Hernandez, and he's a little bit frustrated with Roberts, because his movement's quite narrow, and he's looking for him to peel out and make that angle run, so that ball will find him. But it's great vision from the little Spaniard.
You're listening to Leeds United versus West Brom on TalkSport 2 with McDonald's Fun Football, providing over 5 million hours of fun grassroots football to the UK by 2022. Now Jansson stepping forward for Leeds, wide on the far side, the left. He's challenged by Barry, who was 38 years of age on the day of West Bromwich Albion's defeat to Sheffield United last Saturday, and it will be a throw into Leeds midway inside the West Brom half on the far side. If you've just joined us, Pablo Hernandez with a goal after 16 seconds for Leeds, giving them the lead. Now Alioski coming forward down the left-hand side. A low cross in though is headed away at the near post by Livermore, but now Hernandez again pokes it in field towards Bamford on the edge of the penalty area, and it was almost slipped through by Click towards Phillips on the edge of the penalty area, but it bobbles through towards Sam Johnston.
Yeah, they just look a little bit loose centrally. It's not normal that for Barry. He's usually really diligent in that central midfield position.
Now Rodriguez has given the ball away, poked forward by Bamford, looking for Click, who was the furthest player forward, and Johnston will quickly clear downfield, looking to isolate Alioski, appeals for handball against Robson Kanu, and the assistant very quickly raises the flag on the far side. 10 minutes played on TalkSport 2, the home of the EFL, and it's a big game for the Championship, with Leeds leading West Bromwich Albion by a goal to nil.
Yeah, just a little bit unlucky there, Robson Kanu, to give that free kick away. Linesman said he used his hand, but I'm not sure he saw that ball as it dropped over his head. Long clearance from Johnson, the keeper. It gives Leeds a little bit of respite with a free kick.
West Brom won the corresponding game 4-1 at the Hawthorns back in November. Bielsa's heaviest defeat as Leeds manager, and West Brom scored 4 goals that day with 28% of the possession, and they've won 8 of their last 10 games with less than half of the ball, and they can be a very effective counter-attacking side, and that looks to be the way they've set up this evening.
Yeah, they're very compact in midfield. I think the diamond shape, if you like, has lent to that. But that early goal's just rocked them back, definitely.
It's a diamond with Livermore at the base, Rodriguez at the tip, with Barry and Harper on either side, but Rodriguez has the job of getting forward as a striker when they have the ball. Here is Hernandez coming forward now for Leeds, but the cross towards the far post is headed away by Dawson, retrieved by Ayling down the right hand side. Hernandez slides it in low, and it was flicked towards goal at the near post, and in the end Roberts' shot is blocked by Johnston.
Yeah, Hernandez is right on his game tonight. It's a great little ball in to find Roberts, and it's a deft touch to try and fashion that into the far corner, but he just finds the keeper instead. But Leeds definitely on top in these early stages.
And West Brom have only kept 6 clean sheets so far this season, and of course they won't keep one here tonight They've always looked to be the promise of goals, and at the moment they're all heading towards the West Brom net as Bamford picks up a ball midway inside the West Brom half. A couple of step overs from him, square towards Roberts, who tries to work it back towards Bamford, but it's cut out by Dawson, who clears away. Now a smart turn in field from Livermore to evade Click. The 18-year-old Harper, too strong for Phillips, and he plays a good ball wide to the right-hand side, and the Welshman Robson Kanu. Rodriguez and Gale wait in the penalty area. Robson Kanu cuts in field towards the box and now has support from Harper again, but some of the momentum has rather stalled in this move now as Holgate is challenged by Harrison, and it will be a throw into West Brom on the far side.
Yeah, a couple of sideways passes there that West Brom didn't really need in that attack. Allowed Leeds to get back in, but quick break from West Brom.
Rodriguez again, wide to the right-hand side, and he's given the ball away, cut out by Phillips. Ayling quickly finds the run of Roberts, and now the pace of Harrison scurrying forward, cutting in field from the left-hand side, wide towards Bamford, who held his run to stay onside. Bamford drives in the cross, which took a deflection off Dawson at the near post and fell kindly for Higazi, who will clear, but West Brom give the ball away again. Harper in all sorts of trouble on the edge of his own penalty area before it's eventually funneled back towards Sam Johnston, who clears downfield, but West Brom at the moment do not have a moment to breathe inside their own half.
No, and they're taking a chance at the back, Nigel. They're really taking chances. Nearly got caught there, Dawson under pressure, but Leeds really up for it.
13 minutes played, Leeds 1, West Brom 0 on TalkSport 2. Leeds chalked up their 7th successive victory when they won here against Blackburn on Boxing Day. They were 3 points clear, 6 points clear of third then. It just seemed to be a case of them ticking over to complete a promotion challenge and their return to the Premier League, but since then 4 wins, 1 draw and 5 defeats, and whatever anyone says, Spygate unquestionably put a rather harsh spotlight on Leeds, and maybe the results suffered as a result.
Yeah, and maybe inevitably it put pressure on Leeds when there was no pressure there at the time, and it's definitely
because they had to win, because they were the best prepared team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now Click scoops it forward, looking for Roberts. The back pass from Adebayo, and Johnson quickly clears downfield, right-footed. It's a very long clearance, and Cooper, wearing the headband, will just duck out of it, and it's all the way through towards Kiko Casilla.
Yeah, it's great defending by Cooper, because he judges the clearance from Johnson, and he's got Robson Kanu in his sights, knows where everything is, just ducks down and lets that run through to his keeper.
Leeds have the most points in the season at this level of English football since they won the second division title under Howard Wilkinson back in 1990, and now thousands of white scarves have been whirled above the heads of Leeds supporters all around the stadium as Phillips sweeps it wide to the far side, and Alioski. Now Harrison again coming in field, a squat figure, a low cross in, looking for Bamford, is swept away by Dawson, regathered by Ayling, who looked to go to his right, but that avenue was quickly closed off, so eventually he goes all the way back towards Cooper, and whenever Ayling tries to get forward, Phillips just drops into that right back position, and that seems to be a fairly popular move for Leeds, to try and get Ayling involved further up the field, and he plays what looked to be a terrific ball forward down the centre, looking for Roberts, and eventually a combination of Dawson and Johnston will clear the ball away, but it's all very hurried and all very rattled from West Brom so far in the opening 15 minutes, with Leeds leading here by a goal to 0.
Yeah, just looking at Rodriguez in that 10 slot, if you like, Nigel, he looks a little bit lost in there at this moment in time. He doesn't know whether to run past the front or play in the hole.
16 minutes played, West Brom trailing here by a goal to 0, and another move breaks down as Gale comes in with a heavy challenge on Ayling, but no free kick given by Tim Robinson, and Casilla will look to get Leeds moving again. Alioski wide on the left hand side, both Alioski and Harrison, two very attack-minded players in that portion of the pitch, and Bamford is felled by Livermore, and it's a Leeds free kick. Bamford will take it quickly, and now Click the pole wide towards this near side, and Hernandez drifts a high cross into the penalty area. Harrison was jumping for it, but he's one of the smallest players on the pitch, and West Brom will eventually clear. And again, they're looking to isolate the Leeds defenders on that left hand side. It was Cooper on this occasion who just nips in ahead of Robson Kanu, but clearly as you suggested, Neil, before kick-off, they think they can tackle Alioski, or the lack of positional sense from him defensively.
Yeah, I think the fact that he's naturally a forward player, a winger, and defending doesn't come natural to him at left back, and I think that's uppermost in West Brom's thinking. Like you say, a lot of players gone down that side.
Barry Douglas on the bench for Leeds this evening. 17 minutes played. Leeds 1, West Brom 0. On TalkSport 2, the home of the EFL. Leeds heading back on top of the table. Livermore, though, plays it forward for West Brom. It's quickly cut out by Phillips, who just shields the back four, and then Phillips apologises as his lofted ball wide to this near side. Skids off the head of Hernandez, and out of play for a throw-in. Taken by Adebayo, flicked on by Gale, and now the shot will come in from Livermore, and that was travelling before it was blocked by Janssen on the edge of the area, but West Brom quickly win it back. But Harper has problems, tried to shake off Phillips, but he's done well to find Robson Kanu, and Robson Kanu was caught there by Alioski, who himself was caught on the wrong side, and maybe that lack of defensive nous surfacing there for the Macedonian.
Yeah, he's going to have to be careful here, Alioski, because he's dived into her 3 times now. And Robson Kanu has used all his experience, felt the challenge coming in with his body, and rolled Alioski a couple of times. He's just got to be careful, just needs to stay on his feet, because Lee's getting exposed on that side a little.
18 minutes played, another free kick for West Brom in a dangerous area as Bielsa perches on the right corner of his technical area, dispensing with the bucket for now. It's a free kick for West Brom, and the way this game is going, set pieces look to be their route back into this game. Dawson and Hagazi both waiting at the far post. Barry with it high to the far post, and Casilla rises above Dawson to claim. Yeah, perfect. That's what you want your goalkeeper to do when you're under pressure. Body's piling in on it, but he comes brave. Good handling, his hands are safe. And it's not the greatest free kick, but it's good handling from Casilla. And Casilla has just gone down, feeling the base of his spine following that aerial challenge. Don't think the medical team is being called on. In fact, Tim Robinson, the referee, has given a free kick and is simply telling Casilla to get on with things.
Yeah, I don't think there's a foul in that, to be honest with you. It's just part and parcel of the game. Physical challenge, keeper did well. Going to get a bit of buffeting at this level.
And Casilla looking for his first Leeds clean sheet this evening at the 7th attempt. Now Barry quickly plays it forward to Robson Kanu, who tries to turn it around the corner for Rodriguez down the left, but Ayling nips in to win it back for Leeds. A long ball forward now from Janssen, and Tyler Roberts, the Welshman, wide to this near side, and Hernandez, who comes in field from the right wing, back towards Roberts again, who had Barry at his back, so he's quickly helped out by Ayling. Here is Hernandez again. Roberts plays the 1-2 and looks to go for the return. Bamford takes over on the edge of the penalty area, and his right-footed shot squirts away off Hagazi. Adebayo heads it straight back towards Click down the right-hand side. Hernandez again, the crowd urge him to shoot on the edge of the penalty area, but he meanders wide to the right, and the cross is blocked by Adebayo. Hernandez once again, though, Click in support, but Hernandez gives it straight to Livermore, who clears downfield. Rodriguez looks to link up with Gale, but the ball forward from Rodriguez is cut out by Janssen, and it's a throw into West Brom with 20 minutes played, and Leeds still leading by that very early goal to 0.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, at this moment in time, Hernandez is the difference. He's got real top quality, and he's not frightened to put his foot on the ball when the pressure's high in the final third, and he's had some real moments of top quality.
Bamford brings a high ball down neatly inside the West Brom half, and then goes for a return ball from Click on the edge of the penalty area. Dawson slid in. Bamford was looking for the free kick, but again Tim Robinson is determined to try and allow the game to flow, as Janssen now tangles with Rodriguez, and Ayling will tidy up for Leeds with the ball back towards Casilla. He doesn't see Robson Kanu heading towards him, and Casilla, under pressure, hoofs it straight out of play.
Yeah, not the clearance he was looking for there, Casilla. He's started really well, Pontus Janssen at the back for Leeds. Really front foot, intercepted 2 or 3 balls into Rodriguez. Really menacing with his stature, and a real leader for Leeds.
Adebayo with the throw-in down the line. Rodriguez was looking for a free kick as he was challenged by Janssen, but Leeds have the throw-in. And TalkSport 2 also supports the work of Prostate Cancer UK. Remember, in the time it takes to play a game of football, 2 men in the UK will die of prostate cancer. To find out more and how you can help, visit prostatecanceruk.org/football. Hernandez down the right-hand side for Leeds. The cross, though, was blocked on the edge of the penalty area by Adebayo. Recovered by Ayling. Hernandez again with a deeper cross this time. Flicked on by Roberts. Nodded clear, though, by Barry. And Harper will try and bring the ball clear, and the 18-year-old's done really well, but it's an excellent recovery challenge from Phillips on halfway to win it back for Leeds. And they've got an overload now down the left-hand side. Phillips, though, goes for goal with a right-footed shot, and it's gathered at the second attempt by Johnston.
Good strike by Phillips. Not the best handling by Johnson. Had to take it on the second attempt, but great break by Leeds United.
Now a long ball played forward from West Brom. Casilla comes out of his goal to clear, and he's still retreating as Gale is fouled by Click 45 yards out, and the referee has given the free kick, and I think Dwight Gale was sizing up the opportunity to chip the goalkeeper there.
Yes, definitely. He was way off his line there, Casilla, and to be honest with you, that looked like a booking, that challenge from Click, and I think he's got away with one there. Made his way from the scene of the crime pretty sharpish, and
Casilla wasn't retreating at a massive speed, was he?
No, he wasn't. I mean, it's great play to begin with, because it's a good ball through and he reads it superbly well, Casilla, but his defensive header lands straight at the feet of Gale, and he's way off his line.
Barry is over the free kick. Every single outfield player is inside the Leeds half, and most of them are within the confines of the penalty area at the Revy stand end. Barry with the free kick, high towards the far post. Ghazi had his run blocked off by Cooper. That was smart play from the Leeds captain, and Casilla, as a result, has an unchallenged claim.
Yeah, they've just got to be a little bit brighter, West Brom, with these free kicks, because you've got a top-class goalkeeper, Casilla, and anything that's in the vicinity of himself is going to come and claim, and he does that again with great aplomb.
Hernandez infield towards Click, who has been a real bonus for Leeds throughout the season. 7 goals from midfield from a player who was farmed out on loan to Dutch football during last season. Now Livermore picks up a loose ball, quickly tries to play Robson Kanu in, but the challenge is made by Cooper, and here is Hernandez again, drifting in Phil from the right-hand side for Leeds. Goes from in to out to find Roberts down the right-hand side, but the ball forward from Roberts was beyond Hernandez, who very demonstrably says, I need the ball to feet on the edge of the area, and it's picked up by Sam Johnston, and Leeds still lead here by a 1-0 with 24 minutes played inside a frenetic Ellen Road. Don't forget, tomorrow Southend against Barnsley is the football commentary from League One on TalkSport 2 as part of Matchday Live 2 with Russ at 12:30, followed by the 5th and final one-day international in St Lucia between England and the West Indies, part of our live and exclusive coverage of England's winter of cricket over on TalkSport, the North London derby, only on TalkSport, with Simon Stewart from 12:30, followed by Manchester United against Southampton with Dance and Perry Groves as part of Matchday Live with Adrian. All the goals as they go in from elsewhere. On Sunday on TalkSport 2 Live, it's rugby union action. Newcastle against Worcester. I'll be alongside Simon Grayson at Hillsborough on Monday night for the Sheffield derby. And then on Tuesday, it is the first T20 international from 6 o'clock between the West Indies and England. All coming up across the TalkSport network over the coming days. Ayling now for Leeds, plays a good ball forward towards Hernandez, who created 10 opportunities during the 2-1 win here against Bolton, but scoring goals and converting those chances has been a problem for Leeds in recent weeks. And now they can see the free kick as Roberts just grapples with Dawson on the edge of the West Brom penalty area, and the referee goes the way of the Baggies.
Yeah, it's been a spluttering start from West Brom. They've definitely not had their own way, and I think they look quite comfortable, Leeds. They've not really fashioned any efforts at the other end, West Brom, and Leeds will be really pleased with the start.
Well, Leeds have won every game in which they've scored the first goal this season, and they've also only dropped 3 points from a winning position, and that was in that topsy-turvy game at Forest on New Year's Day when they took the lead, or rather went behind, had a man sent off, went 2-1 up before eventually losing. Now a superb drilled ball from Click wide to the left-hand side, looking for Harrison, but the challenge comes in from Holgate, and the ball squirts forward for West Brom, but Robson Kanu was in an offside position, so Leeds have a free kick with nearly 27 minutes played on TalkSport 2, and West Brom still trail by that very early goal to nil.
Yeah, that's frustrating for the defenders of West Brom. It's lazy play by Robson Kanu. He's got to get himself back onside quicker, because that clearance drops in a really dangerous place, and he's just making his way back, and the linesman spots it.
And that goal scored by Pablo Hernandez, the 111th in matches involving West Brom so far this season. They've scored a few, but they're also porous defensively as well. Alioski now down the left-hand side, looking to move forward. Cooper's dropped into the left-back area. Click on the edge of the penalty area, tries to find Roberts, and now Bamford is clean through. Can he make it too? Yes, he can! Patrick Bamford with an outstanding finish, and Leeds United take a vice-like grip on such a big game at the top of the Championship, and they are heading top of the Championship.
Yeah, another great goal. Great little bit of interplay. When the ball drops at Bamford's feet, he's so composed. He draws Johnson, just stops for him, pauses for a moment, gets the goalkeeper stood and slots it past him into the far corner. A great finish from Patrick Bamford. But again, West Brom loose at the back.
Patrick Bamford making only his 5th start since joining Leeds due to injury. That's his 5th goal as well. A year ago tonight, he scored a hat-trick against Leeds for Middlesbrough in the snow up at the Riverside, but now he's wearing all white and doing all right, because he's made it 2-0, and West Brom here look a beaten side.
Yeah, this is a long way back now for West Brom. It's going to be really difficult, but they've got to try and compose themselves somehow.
Now Rodriguez coming forward, tried a long-range shot which struck Janssen on the back of the head, and Janssen has gone down. He now looks to get back to his feet. The home crowd want play stopped, and I think Janssen here took a look at the referee there, and he stayed down, and then now eventually play has been stopped. If he has a head injury, that's fair enough, but Janssen took a long look to see where the ball was before he stayed down.
Yeah, obviously not that bad, but it's a good block by Janssen. Really got himself in there, get his body in the way, putting his body on the line for the cause. But they just look a little bit lethargic to me, West Brom, Nigel. I don't know about you. They played neat, tidy football at times, but Leeds just look a little bit sharper, a little bit quicker.
The guy, our producer, tells me that West Brom have only completed 68% of their passes so far, so a third of their balls are going straight to the opposition or out of play.
Yeah, it's not good. Also looks like the changes have affected them slightly. I know Phillips is a key man for West Brom out on the right, although Robson Kanu is a really capable of replacement, but the back four just don't look as balanced.
And it's significant, while Janssen's receiving treatment, all the outfield players for West Brom are in a circle inside the centre circle, and they are having a very animated discussion. Words have been exchanged.
Yeah, I think what they're just saying is that we just need to gather ourselves and we need to get to the pace of the game, because at this moment in time Leeds are sharper on the first to every second ball. The football's brighter in the final third. They look like they're going to score more, and I think that West Brom really need to get themselves together.
Well, West Brom yet to really trouble Casilla. Leeds have only really had 2 clear-cut opportunities. They had the long shot from Phillips, but the efforts from Hernandez and Bamford both going in, and that was a really good finish, because he came in from the angle down the left-hand side and had a long time to think about it.
Yeah, that's right. And if you read the programme notes from Marcelo Bielsa, he's quite critical of the fact that they've missed chances in recent games. Well, tonight they've been clinical, and they've answered the manager's criticisms.
And this is the start of a key time for Leeds, including this game. They've got 3 games out of 4 against sides in the top 6. Bristol City next, and 2 home games. They've got Reading at home, who of course at the bottom of the table, and then 2 weeks tomorrow, Sheffield United here. That game will be live on TalkSport 2. It's a Saturday lunchtime kickoff, and that already has the look of, if not a title decider, then maybe a promotion decider. Adarabioyo with a long throw forward for West Brom. Robson Kanu can't link up with Rodriguez, and you look at the West Brom bench at potential changes. They've got Jacob Murphy, who's fit again. He could play in the wide areas, but the problems aren't in an attacking sense. They're just giving too much of the ball away around their own penalty area.
Yeah, I just think with the advent of Gibbs missing at left back, they just look a little bit, I don't know, loose. You know, there's a lot of space in between the gaps and between the back four, and it's easy for Leeds to get in between.
Here is Gale finding Rodriguez with a shot from long range, and Casilla has to leap, arches back and turn it over the top. The first real chemistry we've seen between Gale and Rodriguez, and there was real power there before the Leeds goalkeeper turned it aside.
Wow, that's an unbelievable strike from Rodriguez, and that is a world-class save from Casilla, because that's going in 30 yards out, struck beautifully. The keeper makes his way back and tips it over the bar, but it's an acrobatic save.
Barry is over the corner, and it will be an in-swinger in towards the central area. It's headed towards goal and wide, and that's an escape for Leeds.
Yeah, Pontus Jansson's key in this, you know, because they just they lack a little bit of height at the back. Cooper's not the biggest, and West Brom have got some big lads, and they piled in on that, but Jansson managed to do enough and show the danger off.
You're listening to Leeds United versus West Brom on TalkSport 2, with McDonald's Fun Football providing over 5 million hours of fun grassroots football to the UK by 2022. 33 minutes played at Ellen Road. Leeds United 2, West Bromwich Albion 0. And one of the summit meetings in the Sky Bet Championship is all going one way at the moment.
They've been full value, to be fair. You can't say any other. I mean, they've not started well at all, West Brom. And Leeds have been organised, they've been quick, they've moved the ball well, they've created chances. And this week they've put them in the back of the net.
Click now coming forward again as Bielsa continues to crouch on the edge of his technical area. Hernandez sweeps it into the box looking for either Bamford or Roberts. He finds neither, and it's behind for a goal kick. But Leeds here look capable of scoring every time they're inside the West Brom half.
Yeah, I have to say Hernandez has been mercurial in his first 20 odd minutes. His touch and his awareness and his vision has been fantastic.
West Brom heading for only their second away defeat since the start of November. Livermore now has the opportunity to turn and try and bring it forward. Harper, who at least has offered some mobility from midfield, but both Livermore and Barry have really struggled to get in the game so far, the two experienced men there. Barry now on the far side, picks out the run of Holgate, who just about keeps the ball in play. Now Livermore again, and West Brom here, you feel, almost just trying to get a feel for the ball. As Dawson plays it forward, it's laid off by Robson Kanu. Barry with a good ball wide to the right hand side, a low ball across the face of goal from Gale is stabbed away by Ayling, and then it's cleared by Phillips up towards the halfway line. Appeals for a free kick from the home crowd as Bamford goes down and stays down, tangling with Higazi, and the referee has stopped play for treatment.
Yeah, interesting one that, because he stopped play for treatment, and if he thinks that's a foul by Higazi, then he's got to give Leeds a free kick. He's got to give the defender a caution as well, because it's come off the back of a little bit of a wrestling match, a little bit of a tussle for the ball. But he's making Leeds kick the ball back to West Brom. Strange one from the ref.
There is often a whiff of sulphur around Ahmed Higazi, and he walked away from that with an innocent looking expression on his face. As Higazi comes forward again now. Adebayo plays the ball in field. It wasn't intended for Harper, but he gathers. Harper though was looking to play the ball wide to Gale, and it was Harrison coming back to do the defending. Curled his legs around Harper to win the ball on the ground, and then finds Hernandez. A long diagonal ball from him, putting Dawson under pressure, but he does well to judge it and clear. But Holgate's miss kick only finds Harrison, and it's a very robust challenge from Holgate on Harrison. The referee says he got the ball. West Brom will try and clear, but Rodriguez has given it straight to Ayling, but Ayling in turn has given the ball away. Gale will try and come forward now, but Janssen just nips in to win it back.
Yeah, it's a good position that for West Brom. You'd fancy Gale there, 1v1 with the defender, but his touch just lets him down, and Leeds managed to get back and recover. But the game just warming up a little bit now. One or two challenges going in.
And Gale got dogs abuse from the Sheffield United supporters on his return to the West Brom team following that ban for diving last week, and it was interesting. A couple of marginal decisions didn't go his way as Leeds stream forward again now. Roberts into the penalty area down the left hand side, pulls it back for Click, but the pass was behind him and Higazi is able to clear. But West Brom again don't look after the ball. Harper has given it straight to Cooper, who will stride forward and find Hernandez 25 yards out. Another long-range shot from him. This time is high over the crossbar.
Yeah, I have to say, as well as Leeds have played, and they have played really well today, this is as good as I've seen them play at home. But West Brom have been poor. The passing's been poor. They look disjointed. The changes look to affect them slightly, and they're not really at the races.
And this is only the second time in 11 seasons that the top three have been so close together at the end of February in the Championship. So you've got to win the games against your rivals, and Leeds of course have got this game, they've got Bristol City next week, they've got Sheffield United in a couple of weeks. If they win those three games, the job's not done, but they've really put away all those doubters.
Yeah, absolutely. They make it difficult for everybody else. And if you look at on the flip side of it, from West Brom's point of view, if they don't win tonight, that 4-point gap, becomes bigger, and it makes it really difficult for them to try and get in, right in the pack.
How many people are inside the Leeds technical area? They've got the medical team in there giving some treatment. They've also got 4 or 5 people waving their arms around, and Bielsa on his haunches.
Yeah, they must have changed the rules since I was last manager.
I thought you could only have a certain number of people inside the technical area.
Well, it only used to be one stood up, but there's about 7 there.
As West Brom look to come forward now, Holgate goes down looking for a free kick, and then he challenges Roberts by the corner flag, and it spins out of play. Jack Harrison went off and has come back without a number on his shirt. So clearly a blood issue there, and he quickly comes back on to resume his position on the left-hand side of midfield. Nearly 39 minutes played at Ellen Road. Leeds United 2, West Bromwich Albion 0. Pablo Hernandez in the opening seconds, and Patrick Bamford 2 minutes before the half hour.
Yeah, I'm looking at Darren Moore there. I think he's desperate to get his team in at half-time without conceding again at this moment in time, because they're just not at the races.
And Leeds have only kept 1 clean sheet in their last 12 games. They do often concede, and if West Brom can get a goal back, as we've seen recently in the games against Swansea and Bolton, Leeds won both of those, but they were nervy.
Yeah, that's right, and no game's dead. 2-0's a dodgy score.
Now Harper looking to come forward. It's a terrific run from him down the right-hand side before Cooper eventually lunges in to just bobble it out of play for a throw-in. And Raheem Harper, the youngest player in the team, has been the best player for West Brom so far.
Yeah, he has. It's a good spot as well. He's done as more as anybody, but he needs some help. Can't do it all on his own.
Now Dawson tangling with Bamford again, and they both had hold of each other there, so I think the referee just decided for them to go on with it. And here is Agazi, wide to this near side, and Barry cuts in field beyond Roberts, back towards Livermore, who once had a spell on loan here at Leeds during his earlier days. Adebayo coming in field and giving it straight to Hernandez, but doing well to win it back. Rodriguez tries another slide rule pass to pick out Robson Kanu on the edge of the penalty area, but very few of those have come off so far as Leeds clear, and Bamford looks to dummy the ball to evade Agazi, but the Egyptian had seen that trick before when he bullets it out of play for a throw into Leeds.
Yeah, he's looked really comfortable tonight though, Bamford. Looks much more like himself. Got some games under his belt now, coming back from injury. Took his goal superbly well, but he's had 1 or 2 little deft touches as well, little layoffs, which have put Leeds in a great position. Looks to be playing with real confidence.
He looks like the sort of player who could flourish in the Premier League, but when he's been given the opportunity at that level, albeit with struggling teams, he's never taken it.
No, that's right, but I think that he's got the ability. There's no two ways about it. I just think he needs a run of games at that level.
Hernandez down the line again for Click, who quickly plays it infield towards Bamford on the right corner of the penalty area. He's given the room to turn. He finds Click back towards Bamford, and Bamford tries a long, languid, curling shot left-footed, and it whizzes over the angle.
Yeah, good play again by Leeds. Little give and goes in and around the box, and again West Brom loose, not close enough to close down and get a foot in. It's a bit of a speculative effort from Bamford, and it clears the bar by some distance, but again, good play by Leeds round the box.
Apparently Bielsa perches on the bucket because of back trouble, but he's been a lot more mobile tonight inside the technical area, and he's on his feet now because everybody at Leeds is aware of the importance of this game, and now the importance of not giving West Brom a sniff before half-time. 3 minutes to play. Leeds leading by 2-0. Barry losing out in the midfield area to Roberts, but Harper is there to pick up the pieces for Albion. And now Rodriguez tries to take on Phillips, but gives the ball away, and it will be a throw into West Brom, bang on halfway, and Darren Moore retrieves the ball. And you can imagine there is a very big 15 minutes coming up for him fairly shortly.
Yeah, he's been another star performer for Leeds this half, Nigel. Calvin Phillips, because Rodriguez has more or less been non-existent in that 10 slot.
Harper looks to try and build on this near side, the Leeds right, but it's Jack Harrison who comes all the way across the field to track his run. And of course he was signed as a junky winger at the start of the season, but Leeds are moulding him into a different sort of player.
Yeah, his work ethic's unbelievable. He covers so much ground for the cause. There's a good foil for Alioski just in behind him, because defensively obviously it's not his natural position.
Jack Harrison, of course, on loan from Manchester City, and I'm sure their scouts will be noting his industry. Now a long ball is played forward. Robson Kanu challenges Cooper in the air and comes away clutching his face, and it's all the way through towards Casilla. And there are a couple of things just bubbling under as the first half comes to a conclusion here. Alioski with a long ball forward, looking for Bamford, but Hegazi with a challenge, and it ricochets off Bamford's chest, out of play for a throw-in to West Bromwich Albion. Trailing here by 2-0, a team who arrived at Ellen Road looking for their 9th away win in 10 games. And it's their away form which has basically kept them in the top 6, because they've not been good enough at home on too many occasions in recent weeks. Rodriguez with a high boot wins the ball off Phillips. Again, no free kick was given, but Leeds recover the second ball. Here is Click on this near side, forward towards Hernandez, back towards Click again. All this happening just in front of us here on the halfway line before Janssen puts a big right foot through the ball, looking for Bamford on the edge of the area, but it's beyond him, and it's gathered by Johnston.
Yeah, that's a clearance of centre halves of days gone by, Nigel. No messing, 2-0 up, close to half time, put his foot through it.
Now Harper spinning in field beyond Phillips. He was looking for the free kick, but Leeds are happy to continue. Bamford lays it wide to the far side. Click was waiting for the ball to arrive, and Holgate was able to nip in, and I think the pace of the ball there from Bamford did Click no favours.
No, it just slowed up slightly, and obviously it made it really difficult for the Leeds United striker, but Leeds on the front foot again.
Alioski wins it down the left hand side in towards Bamford, and Leeds now transfer it wide to the right. Hernandez with an early cross into the area, which is deflected up and away off Adebayo, almost breaks inside the penalty area for Click, but West Brom will clear. Livermore finding Gale. There'll be 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half, which Leeds have dominated here, leading by 2-0. Gale though with a good ball in field to find Barry. Barry looks for options to his right, and it's Holgate, but it's a dreadful ball from him down the channel looking for Harper, and it's cut out easily by Click, and Leeds will be able to clear. Now Harrison with a good ball wide to this near side, and Hernandez. The early ball is pinged forward over the head of Hegazi, looking for Alioski, who drives a low cross into the penalty area, which is deflected off Hegazi behind for a Leeds corner.
Yeah, that's a fantastic spot by Hernandez. He drove that diagonal pass fully 40 yards to pick out Alioski, and it's the fullback who's getting forward in the last minute of this first half, and he wins Leeds a corner.
And Hernandez, who got the ball rolling for Leeds, will take the corner, and we have a minute of added time to play at the end of the first half here, with Leeds well on top in this game. But you just get the feeling if West Brom could score the next goal, we could still have a contest here. Even at 2-0, the situation around this game means it is still on the knife edge. Hernandez with a low scuff corner right into the 6-yard area. It was dummied by Ayling, and eventually it was hacked clear by Rodriguez. Click will take the throw-in on this near side, and he leaves it for Ayling as Leeds maybe just look to settle for half-time here and protect their lead as the home crowd rise to them once again. This has been the most convincing Leeds have been for many, many weeks. Hernandez lays it back towards Click. Janssen finding Ayling, but the precise ball from him is cut out by Rodriguez, and the early ball forward doesn't find Robson-Kanu. It is gathered by Casilla, and that should be that for the first half as the half-time whistle goes. And there is a tremendous ovation from the home supporters here inside Ellen Road. Leeds United's bottle has been questioned in recent weeks, but a goal after 16 seconds really calmed their nerves from Pablo Hernandez, added to by Patrick Bamford after 28 minutes, and West Bromwich Albion have had very little in response. At half-time, Leeds are heading top. They lead West Bromwich Albion by 2-0. Thank you, Russ. And Leeds are about to get the second half underway, attacking the Revy stand away to our left-hand side in all white, and West Bromwich Albion in their yellow and green stripes, green shorts and green socks. And I'm sure Darren Moore had words to say at half-time, because, as we've been saying, West Brom never got started in that game, and Leeds United had them by the throat right from the very start. A reminder of the two teams again: Leeds, Casilla in goal, Ayling, Janssen, Cooper and Alioski the back four, Phillips shielding in midfield, Hernandez, Roberts, Click and Harrison, with Bamford who scored the second goal, adding to the early one from Hernandez in attack. As West Brom look to move forward here, playing from left to right in the second half towards the south stand, but it's quickly broken up. Their team is Johnson in goal, Holgate, Dawson, Hegazi, Adebayo, Harper, Barry and Livermore in midfield, with Rodriguez behind Robson-Kanu and Gale. And it's a formation where Rodriguez is in the number 10 position at the attacking tip of the midfield diamond when they're out of possession, and then trying to get forward as a third striker when they have the ball. But whatever they tried in the first half, Neil Redfern, didn't work.
No, because there was no quality in the play, in the passing, you know, whether they're playing short or whether they tried to play a little bit longer into the front. The quality was poor and they never got past B.
Mason Holgate, a player who's done very well for West Brom since arriving on loan from Everton. The most tackles and interceptions of any West Brom player since he joined the club. He plays a throw-in forward. It's now Robson-Kanu into the path of Gale, who tries to cushion it down for Robson-Kanu again down the right-hand side, but it will be cleared away long downfield by Alioski. Bamford tries to control, but Hegazi, in fact it was Dawson who does really well just to get his body between Bamford and the ball, and eventually he's fouled by the Leeds number 9.
Yeah, brilliant by Dawson, because he read the pass into Bamford, nipped in, got in there first, and then just waited for the contact to win the foul.
Gareth Barry is over the free kick, the veteran for West Brom. The free kick high towards the far post. It's nodded away by Janssen. There was a lack of communication there between Janssen and Casilla, who had come a long way, but Leeds got away with it on this occasion. Now Barry infield towards Harper on the edge of the penalty area. Livermore has to rather dig it out from his feet under pressure from Bamford, and Bamford again concedes another free kick, this time for a challenge on Barry on the right corner of the penalty area, as Bielsa waves his arms around to complain to the fourth official before apologising.
Yeah, he can wave his arms around as much as he wants. It's a silly foul by Bamford, doesn't need to do it. It puts Leeds on the back foot to have to defend this free kick. Good start by West Brom.
Matthias Click was down inside the penalty area from the original free kick and has only just regained his footing. And there is some movement around the Leeds bench at the moment as Barry and Holgate, two players at the opposite ends of their footballing careers, size up this free kick for West Bromwich Albion. Trailing here by 2-0, 3 minutes into the second half at Ellen Road. Holgate dummies the free kick. Barry curls it into the near post. It's headed on, and Casilla was nowhere, and it was Robson-Kanu who got there first, and he couldn't keep the header down, but that's a let-off for Leeds.
Yeah, if he could have managed to just fashion that on target, that's in, because he comes, Casilla, and as soon as he starts and leaves his line, he's got to come and get it. He's got to get something on it, because any touch past him there is in the net. But unfortunately for West Brom, the touch is too big. It's a better free kick from Barry. The last three have gone straight to the goalkeeper, but that's a great ball in.
And Casilla looks to be a goalkeeper who will come for everything.
Yeah, he's a confident boy. But again, you know, like I said, if he comes, he's got to get it. That's the rule of thumb with goalkeepers.
Leeds, the only team in the top 6 at home this weekend. The leaders Norwich at Millwall. Sheffield United, of course, are at Wednesday, live on TalkSport on Monday night, TalkSport 2. Middlesbrough are at Wigan, and Bristol City have a very tricky game at Preston. And Preston could be the team to maybe break into the top 6 as Roberts looks to bring the ball forward, and Gareth Barry comprehensively takes him out just inside the West Brom half and is the first player booked.
Yeah, that just looked like, to me, that looked like an older player sliding into tackle, to be honest with you. Very late. I don't think there was any malice in it. He's just gone for the ball there, Gareth Barry. But it's definitely a foul on Roberts. Roberts has done well today. Looked quite bright. Looked sharp going forward. A little bit of frustration there from Barry.
Well, the matches involving Tim Robinson, this referee, have averaged nearly 28 fouls a game so far this season. And of course, he can't control what sort of game it is at the outset, but he has tried to let this game flow.
Yeah, he has, and he's done well, to be fair. He's made for a good game.
Roberts is denied by Dawson on the edge of the West Brom penalty area, and he will now stride forward, and he almost plays in Rodriguez, who was on the shoulder of Ayling, but it's cut out by Phillips, doing a very effective screening job once again for Leeds United. Now it's played square by Hernandez from right to left to pick out Alioski. Harrison now looking to tease Holgate on this near side, but Holgate stuck with him, jabs out a leg, and it's a throw into Leeds.
Yeah, good defending by Holgate. Stood up, kept his eye on the ball, kept his distance, and forced the error from Harrison. Harrison's looked bright as well today, though. Very, very lively on this left-hand side for Leeds.
Click forward towards Bamford, who lays it wide to this near side. He was looking for Harrison, but Holgate stepped in to win it back for West Brom, and the green and yellow shirts are moving forward now. Adebayo comes in field, and there's plenty of room for him to pick out the run of Robson Kanu. Robson Kanu, though, was quickly surrounded by white shirts, but he's done well to wriggle away to the right-hand side. And Hernandez, with a dreadful challenge right on the edge of the penalty area, he's conceded the free kick. He went with the wrong leg on the wrong side, and he hacked down Robson Kanu.
Well, he didn't really need to do it, to be honest with you, Nigel, because he's going nowhere there, Robson Kanu. He's running into traffic, he's going away from goal, and again he brings Robson Kanu down, and this is a dangerous position, this free kick, if they can get it up and down over the wall.
Gale and Barry are over it 6 minutes into the second half on TalkSport 2, and it's 2-0 to Leeds. Hernandez and Bamford with the goals in the first half, and it's a lead they fully deserved on the balance of play, but West Brom have looked to be made of stronger stuff since half-time. Gale will look to drive this right-footed. It's on the wrong side, really, for the right-footed curler, unless he tries to catch out Casilla at the near post. Casilla has left him a large, inviting gap to the right-hand side, and Gale went for that, but the wall jumped and blocked. Now Adebayo back towards Holgate. A high ball right in and right down the throat of Casilla.
Yeah, just too obvious from Gale from the free kick. Needs to be cleverer than that.
Bowled out by Casilla to pick out Bamford on halfway. Infield towards Hernandez. Leeds moving again, but Hernandez's ball is cut out by Gale. Quickly won back by Ayling down the Leeds right. Hernandez now infield towards Phillips, with that top knot bobbing wide to this near side. And Alioski and Harrison have linked up well so far, but on this occasion Holgate steps in to win it back for West Brom, but West Brom have given the ball up on so many times so far, and they do so again, but the ball forward for Leeds is a poor one, and then Phillips almost gives the ball away, and does give the ball away. Here is Gale charging forward now, but he clattered into a couple of Leeds bodies, Ayling and Phillips, and the referee decided Ayling got the ball and Leeds will clear.
Yeah, well, the first challenge looked to me like a foul from Phillips, but the second one's clean as a whistle. Fantastic challenge from Ayling. But Leeds just getting a little bit desperate, last-ditch tackling there as the ball changes hands. Just need to keep the composure, Leeds. You're 2-0 up. Don't need to chase the game.
8 minutes played in the second half. Leeds came into this game as the side with the weakest form in the top 6, but it's been a real throwback for them to the first half of this season tonight, when they were so impressive on so many occasions here. And in fairness, even though they've dropped points, they have won 7 of their last 9 games here at Ellen Road. Now Phillips, found by Ayling, square towards Cooper. And now Janssen once again as Leeds just look to try and take the sting out of anything that West Brom have to offer. Phillips slides it forward quickly to find Click. And now back up wide to the far side again, and Hernandez, but Adebayo with a smart interception. Hernandez finds himself on the wrong side of Gale, and here is Rodriguez now down the centre, wide to the right hand side. Robson Kanu looks to turn and make tracks into the Leeds penalty area. Cooper has stuck with him, but Robson Kanu delivers the cross high to the far post, and it's Phillips who does well to get there before Rodriguez and glance the ball behind for a corner to West Brom.
Well, this is a different West Brom side altogether, Nigel. I have to say they've come on the front foot. The passing's been brighter, quicker, sharper. They've played forward quicker. They've got bodies forward. They're prepared to take Leeds defenders on, and they're in a game now, Leeds.
54 minutes played at Ellen Road on TalkSport 2, the home of the EFL. West Brom trailing by 2-0, but they have a corner high into the penalty area, looking for Dawson, but it's nodded away. And the final man is Holgate, and Holgate rather jumps into Roberts there to ensure that the Leeds man couldn't make a clean connection on halfway. And eventually Leeds have a throw-in just in front of their technical area. Leeds United 2, West Brom 0 on TalkSport 2 with McDonald's Fun Football, providing over 5 million hours of fun grassroots football to the UK by 2022. Dawson with a poor ball wide to the far side, cut out by Hernandez. Adebayo just nips in, but it still falls into the path of Click. Now Hernandez again tries to find Click on the edge of the penalty area. It's all very tight and congested, and Gareth Barry will bring the ball clear. 55 minutes played. Leeds 2, West Brom 0. Barry with another ball in field, which asks an awful lot of Livermore, and Livermore scrambling to try and keep possession, can't do so. And Roberts plays it wide to the far side, and Click back in field to Hernandez, and Bamford was almost in on the edge of the penalty area, but Adebayo with a very good challenge to ensure he didn't have a clear side of goal for 3-0. Now Gale wide on the far side, the left. The game really stretched at the moment. Rodriguez goes shoulder to shoulder with Janssen, and Rodriguez goes down. Janssen stands firm, and it's behind for a goal kick to Leeds.
Great defending from Big Janssen. Uses all his physical presence just to ease Gale off the ball and let it go out for a goal kick. But I just looked at Barry and Livermore there, and the game's frantic in midfield. It just looked to be lacking the legs to get close and get away from players. You know, it's such a pace, this game. Both very technically gifted players, but you need that athleticism in midfield.
Jacob Murphy and Jefferson Montero, two speed merchants, are warming up for West Brom beneath us here as we look out from our television gantry, slung beneath the roof of the main stand at Ellen Road. Another capacity crowd of around 36,000 as Barry challenges Roberts, and Barry of course has already been booked, and the home crowd are aware of that, but Tim Robinson just putting his palms towards the ground to say let's calm things down. But I think Barry will now be on a final warning, and Darren Moore may have seen enough and may replace his captain fairly soon.
Yeah, he's got to come off, because obviously he's in the heat of the battle and he's trying to do his utmost to get close to people, but it's a little bit too quick for him, if I'm honest. I think they need to compete with Leeds in there. They need the legs to do it.
Graham Jones is looking towards one of the subs on this near side and is calling them in. James Morrison is the player who is heading towards this near side, a player who's had such terrible luck with injuries over the past couple of years, but he's been at West Brom since 2007. He was one of the players who helped them into the Premier League initially and then helped them to stay there. Alioski though wins a header on this near side. Harrison scoops it forward. Roberts is onside down the left, but the ball forces him wide towards the corner flag. But now he will try and take on Dawson. Lovely footwork from him. Click inside the penalty area. Right foot shot from him is blocked by Johnson.
Yeah, great effort. Great play by Roberts. It's a pick Click out as well. Good finish. Good save by Johnson.
Now it's given away by Raheem Harper. Hernandez coming forward again now for Leeds. A break into the penalty area down the left, and the cross deflecting away off Barry behind for a corner.
Tell you what, Hernandez has been magnificent tonight. He's got such ability, such great technique, and he weaves his way into the box there, and they're frightened to death, the West Brom defenders. They've got to stay on their feet because they know he's got good skill. and he wins the corner off the last man.
James Morrison has gone back on the West Brom bench and is now sitting down, but West Brom are leaving two players upfield here for this corner. Hernandez swings it in, headed away at the near post and then hooked clear by Harper, and both Gale and Robson Kanu staying forward, and Gale has been wrestled to the ground there by Click, who's got away with a couple of challenges without a yellow card so far and seems to have done so again.
Yeah, I think he's going to give him a little bit of a talking to, the ref, but it's a good one to take for the team, that, because they did leave two up there, West Brom, for exactly that situation where the ball gets cleared and they can get at Leeds. But to be fair to Click, he buys his team time.
Free kick for West Brom. 59 minutes played on TalkSport 2, the home of the EFL. It goes all the way back towards Johnston. Southend against Barnsley is the football commentary on TalkSport 2 tomorrow from League One at 12:30. And that's quickly followed by the final one-day international, the West Indies against England from St Lucia. Part of our exclusive coverage of England's winter of cricket. And what a double-header on TalkSport tomorrow, live and exclusive to national radio from the Premier League, the North London derby with Sam and Stuart, live from Wembley at 12:30, followed by Manchester United against Southampton with Dance and Perry Groves at 3, and Adrian Durham will also bring you all the goals as they go in from elsewhere. Now a long raking ball forward from Hernandez, and it was Click making the run from midfield beyond the strikers, but it's overhit and it's gathered quickly by Johnston. Now Dawson's ball forward down the right hand side, just drifts out of play, and James Morrison will be coming on to make his first league appearance since New Year's Day for West Bromwich Albion, and he is somebody who may just help them to look after the ball a bit more carefully.
Yeah, he's also a fiery character, and he's coming into a bit of a cauldron here, so he needs to keep his nerve. But like you say, Nigel, good technician, got the energy in the legs in midfield, which they've been lacking slightly, West Brom.
Well, I will be staggered if it's not Gareth Barry who comes off. Now Bamford wins a loose ball in midfield. It's quickly played forward over the top by Phillips, looking for Harrison, who was onside, but Johnston is able to gather on the edge of his penalty area. And it's been very, very scrappy at times so far in the second half. 61 minutes played, Leeds 2 up, heading top of the table once again. And there's going to be a double change. Number 7 and number 70 are coming on for West Bromwich Albion, James Morrison and Jacob Murphy. Wide on the far side now, it's Dwight Gale on the left for West Brom, looking to work the space for the cross. Adebayo quickly challenged by Bamford, that it will be a throw-in to West Brom. And will they make the change before it's taken? Yes, they will. Yeah, and it's Gareth Barry, the first man who was coming off.
Yeah, it's just one of them games. He's a vastly experienced player, Gareth Barry, and he's done quite well at times, but it's so frantic in midfield, and he just lacks the legs to get about at this moment in time, and they're getting overrun in there, West Brom. It's the right change, if I'm honest.
And the second change, it's not Jacob Murphy, as just been pointed out to us by Guy. Sam Field had the wrong shirt on, so he's replaced number 70 with number 28, and he will come on very shortly for West Brom, but they're not making the second change at the moment. There's a long throw is hurled into the penalty area, looking for Gale, hooked away by Phillips. Livermore is then just nudged off the ball as Leeds look to break again. Click plays it forward. Alioski is wrestled off it by Higazi, and the referee is happy that both players were going for the ball. Higazi and Alioski are now having a conflab on the ground inside the West Brom half. Alioski has gone down and stayed down as Roberts charges forward now for Leeds. Back towards Bamford on the edge of the penalty area. Bamford with a low shot, left-footed. 3-0 to Leeds. Game over, and Leeds United are back on top of the Sky Bet Championship. Patrick Bamford with nerveless finishing once again, and Ellen Road rises to reclaim the team, who are top once again, 3-0.
Well, it's a fantastic finish from Bamford, and it's a great drive to find him just inside the box, and he strikes it sweetly with his left foot, but you've got to ask questions of the goalkeeper, Johnson. Beaten at the near post, showed a lot of that near post too. Bamford, but he's clever enough, and he's got the quality to put it in there. tall order now for West Brom.
And Leeds get their third goal at a time when West Brom are looking dangerous. We also have a pitch invasion now. And three stewards are chasing a Leeds fan who was celebrating. Darren Moore actually stops him and almost wrestles him to the ground as he was heading towards the West Brom technical area. And one of the stewards thanks Darren Moore. And what possesses someone to come onto the field, because he might not see Leeds make the Premier League now.
I tell you what possessed him was Darren Moore. He's running the wrong man there, isn't he?
West Brom will make their second change. It is Harper coming off now, and Field will come on. Well, that may be closing the stable door after the horse has bolted to try and freshen up the midfield. Bamford with his second. Leeds is third, and they lead here by 3 goals to 0 on TalkSport 2. Of course, a few weeks ago we saw a Yorkshire team give up a 3-goal lead to draw against the West Midlands side at Villa Park when Sheffield United were leading, but you can't see a repeat here, can you?
No, I can't see it now. I just don't think they're at it at all, West Brom. I think the changes have affected them. I just think they're off the pace. They're feeling a little bit sorry for themselves. And Leeds' tails are up.
And there may have been a slight deflection on the shot from Dawson, but I think it was still going in to that near post area.
He's got to do better with that, Johnson.
Because it was still some way inside that near post, wasn't it?
He's got to save that.
Leeds United 3, West Bromwich Albion 0. Leeds conceded 4 at the Hawthorns, and they're now looking to mete out a similar punishment. Rodriguez is just having words with Janssen, and the referee stepping in to intervene. And Leeds have a free kick on halfway. As the noise reverberates around Ellen Road, this old stadium is shaking at the moment as Casilla slices a clearance, the Leeds goalkeeper, on this near side, and it will be a throw-in for West Brom. And they've made 2 changes, reshaping their midfield. Morrison and Field coming on, with an 18-year-old and a 38-year-old taken off. Morrison now heads it into the area looking for Rodriguez, and it's cleared away as far as Adebayo. His cross is nodded clear by Cooper, and then Holgate clatters into the challenge with Cooper, and neither player was pulling out. Leeds will clear, and Leeds will now win the ball back on halfway. Click, helped out by Bamford, brings it forward. Now it's wide towards the far side, and Hernandez, first time ball into the area. Roberts was the target, but it's cleared away eventually by Dawson for a throw-in.
Yeah, they're looking a little bit ragged now, West Brom. Desperate for that next goal, but doesn't seem to be coming for them. Leeds, on the other hand, look full of confidence. Everything that they're doing is coming off. The passing's good, they're playing forward, they've got runners. They've got another energy level that they've found from the third goal. They're in a good place.
And TalkSport 2 supports the work of Prostate Cancer UK. Remember, in the time it takes to play a game of football, 2 men in the UK will die of prostate cancer. To find out more and how you can help, visit prostatecanceruk.org/football. And Sam Johnston is still yet to take the goal kick. And there's going to be a third change made by Darren Moore very shortly. The Ecuadorian on loan from Swansea, Jefferson Montero, will be coming on. And his departure to West Brom probably meant that Swansea kept hold of Dan James, and he didn't end up here, although Leeds were convinced he would do. What response have West Brom got? Robson Kanu goes down looking for a free kick midway inside the Leeds half, doesn't get it. Roberts now plays it wide to this near side, and Harrison further back towards Cooper. And this has been the sort of flaky West Bromwich Albion performance we saw away from home in the first half of the season, as the bodies go sliding in on a couple of occasions from the back east to try and win it back, but Leeds were stronger. Here is Hernandez now down the right, low into Bamford, now on a hat-trick of course. Hernandez with a high ball into the penalty area. Harrison was the target, but if you're looking for height, he's not the man, and it's gathered by Johnston, who quickly clears downfield. A couple of members of the Leeds crowd believe that Johnston carried the ball outside the penalty area, but he's allowed to continue. Phillips wins it back though, and his long ball will be gathered by the West Brom goalkeeper once again.
Just shows you though, Nige, that athleticism and strength Phillips has got in midfield. Dictated in there. He's cut all the ball, all the passing line off into the front. Used the ball well. Been aggressive. Such a top young player.
69 minutes played. Leeds United 3, West Bromwich Albion 0 on the home of the EFL. TalkSport 2, the 5th one-day international coming up tomorrow, live from St Lucia following our League One football in Matchday Live 2 with Russ, which is Southend against Barnsley. The North End derby, or the North London derby, Spurs against Arsenal at 12:30 on TalkSport, followed by Manchester United against Southampton. The final change for West Brom, Robson Kanu off, Montero on. So they've got no lack of width now, but not a huge amount inside the area on the evidence of what we've seen so far. Presumably Gale will take up a more central position.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they line up now, but
well, here is Gale cutting in field from the right hand side, but Janssen makes the challenge and Leeds will look to break again, and there's been no lack of energy from them this evening. Roberts on towards Bamford, now on the hat-trick of course, on the edge of the penalty area. He just stumbles as he gathers. He's then knocked over by Hegazi, and what a stupid free kick for Ahmed Hegazi to give away, just shoving over Bamford, and it's a free kick for Leeds, level on the edge of the penalty area.
Yeah, just totally lost his discipline there, Hegazi. He's lucky not to get a booking, to be honest with you, because he follows through with his arm as he goes to make the challenge, catches Bamford at the back of the head. But it's all too late.
Harrison is over the free kick, and Leeds are sending both Cooper and Janssen forward once again. And interestingly, now they're 3 goals down. West Brom are only leaving one player up front, and that's Jefferson Montero. Leeds here looking to pile on the agony. Hernandez is over the free kick. Bamford in a central area. Janssen and Cooper both coming in from the far post. It's in towards Bamford from Hernandez, and it's cleared away. Roberts tries to win it back, and Roberts does well to hold up the ball. Alioski with a low shot just wide, and it took a deflection on the way through, possibly off the glove of Johnston, and it's a corner to Leeds.
Yeah, it's lucky that he did, because I don't think Johnston had got to that. It's a great strike from Alioski. The deflection just takes it the wrong side of the post from Leeds' point of view. But they look a beaten side at this moment in time, West Brom.
And Leeds are hungry for more. Hernandez will take the corner. Roberts comes short, but will now retreat into the penalty area. Janssen has stayed forward along with Cooper, and it's aimed towards Cooper, but it's headed away by Dawson. Roberts will try and win it back, but Livermore just nips in to try and get West Brom moving, but it's quickly recovered by Janssen. Now Morrison finding Hegazi. Dawson again pressurised by Roberts, plays a good ball forward. Field now down the left hand side for West Brom, a long searching ball looking for Rodriguez, headed away though by Phillips, and Ayling will play it infield towards Janssen, who scoops it wide to the far side, and Leeds in utter control of this game at the moment. In the fullback area, Phillips is now pressurised by Rodriguez, who does well to win it back, but he's isolated, and Ayling steps back to clear for Leeds. Now on halfway, Adebayo infield towards Dawson, and Leeds look like a team still full of running as Roberts slides in to win it back from Dawson, and I think Roberts injured himself in the process of that challenge. As West Brom knock it long again, but it's gathered by Roberts, who's got so much time to control the ball. He's limping, but there's no pressure on the ball at all.
Yeah, they've just lost the shape altogether, West Brom. I don't know whether they're caught in between trying to cheat and get forward and trying to get a goal back and trying to keep some defensive shape, but it's all Leeds.
72 minutes played at Ellen Road on TalkSport 2. Leeds United 3, West Bromwich Albion 0. Leeds have led from the 16th second. That goal seemed to knock the stuffing out of West Brom right at the very start. Pablo Hernandez with the early strike, followed by 2 more from Patrick Bamford. Now Janssen, square to the far side, and Ayling infield to Roberts, who seems to have shaken off that earlier knock, and it's an excellent ball from him. Wide to the left-hand side, Alioski coming forward at pace. Three-weight for the cross, but it's nodded away by Hegazi. And now Field will just boom it long on this near side, straight out of play, over the head of Darren Moore, and it will be a throw-in to Leeds United. And West Brom will now feel vulnerable to those beneath them. Middlesbrough 3 points behind, going to Wigan tomorrow. Bristol City on 53 points are at Preston. And West Brom have two home games coming up against Ipswich and Swansea, two sides showing no real form. Of course, Ipswich currently bottom of the table, but they've got to win them both.
Well, the sides at the bottom are desperate for the points. They need to win to try and stay up. But you look at this West Brom side, and this is going to hurt them, because they've not really been at the races, and it's 3-0. It could have been about 4 or 5, to be honest with you, and they've not really laid a glove on Leeds.
.74 minutes played, 3-0. Leeds United lead as West Brom try and build again, but the challenge comes in from Ayling, and Montero, the Ecuadorian, will take the throw-in quickly onto the chest of Rodriguez, who has worked hard with very little reward. Now Montero does well to win the ball back, but he fouls Ayling on the edge of the penalty area, and it will be a free kick. You're listening to Leeds United versus West Brom on TalkSport 2 with McDonald's Fun Football, providing over 5 million hours of fun grassroots football to the UK by 2022. Leeds are preparing their first change, and their resources have been very thin due to injuries in recent weeks, but it looks like Stuart Dallas will be the player who is coming on, the Northern Ireland international, who has spent much of his time coming off the bench so far this season, but he can be a very handy player for them. Now Hernandez on the far side, clipped in towards Roberts on the edge of the penalty area, intercepted by Field, but nothing is coming off here for West Brom. And Leeds United here are not quite in cruise control, but something pretty close to it.
Yeah, it's almost like there's a dawning amongst the West Brom players that 3 is just too many, that they just haven't got it in them to get that back, and they're not going through the motions, but just haven't got the belief in what they're doing.
Now Field rather sums up how things are going for West Brom by trying to play in Holgate down the right hand side, but the pass was behind him, and it will be a throw into Leeds, but not before they make the change, and it's Jack Harrison who comes off to be replaced by Stuart Dallas. Yeah, good performance from Jack Harrison. Lots of industry, lots of endeavour. There's a lot of unnoticed work for the team, tracking back, defending, but it's also looked quite bright in the final third as well. Well, there are high fives from members of Marcelo Bielsa's entourage, and also a fatherly hand on the shoulder from the Leeds United coach as Jack Harrison makes his way off. And Tim Robinson, the referee, is just laying down the law to Alioski as he prepares to take a throw in from the correct position into Bamford, who lays it off first time. Now Roberts, who's done very well tonight, worked really hard for the team, a player who has often found himself on the fringes this season, and he looks for a free kick as his shirt was being pulled by Sam Field right in front of the referee, and he gets it.
Yeah, they just look that little bit sharper, Leeds. They're playing with it. They're playing like a side with the confidence of the 3 goals in front that they've got. And for West Brom's point of view, it's nearly damage limitation, because it's all Leeds in possession.
13 minutes to play. Leeds have another huge game coming up next week, away to Bristol City at Ashton Gate. Then a home game here in the following midweek against Reading, before it is Sheffield United 2 weeks tomorrow, and that game will be live on TalkSport 2. Now Montero coming forward on the far side, but he rather scampers into another cul-de-sac before winning it back, and here is Morrison back to goal on the edge of the penalty area, and it goes back towards Livermore, square towards Dawson. Dawson now has Holgate providing the width down the right hand side. Gale tries to link up with somebody in field, but he played the ball blind, and as a result only finds Click. Click then is caught by Dawson, a firm challenge in the midfield, and Click has stayed down, And once again, the referee is happy for play to continue, much to Marcelo Bielsa's disgust. Now Holgate beats Dallas, but not Alioski. And Leeds will try to clear again as Alioski goes to ground under pressure from Holgate and gets the free kick in the left-back area.
Yeah, it's a silly foul from Holgate, because he's looking for it really, Alioski. He's got his body in there, shielding it. He's looking for the weight of the challenge, and Holgate obliges. But disappointing from West Brom's point of view, from Darren Moore. They'll be disappointed with this side. They've not played to their potential. We know they're a free-flowing attacking side. They play good football, they've got experienced players, and you thought they'd have handled this occasion better than what they have done.
Virtually the whole crowd on their feet, enjoying themselves here. That's the Leeds crowd anyway, leading by 3-0. As Gale gathers for West Brom, just hooks it over his shoulder, looking for Rodriguez, but it's cleared away by Cooper. Alioski tries to nod it forward, but Holgate will just play it high towards the Leeds penalty area once again, but it's all very aimless from West Brom. They have the reputation of playing some of the best football in the Championship, but this will be back-to-back defeats against two of their major rivals, and at the moment without a goal scored.
Yeah, and they've not really looked like they're going to score, apart from the effort from Rodriguez, which Casilla made a fantastic save off in the first half. They've not really looked like. It's a real disappointment for them. We're interested to see how they recover from this, Nigel, because at the moment it's time, this is comfortable for Leeds.
Marcelo Bielsa was also booked by the referee during the last break in play, presumably for the earful towards Jeff Eltringham, the fourth official, when he believed one of his players should have had a free kick previously. Now Dawson for West Brom, but he holds out his hands to say, where is the service? And Alioski almost wins it back from him. He does, and in the end there's a recovery challenge from field, and Dawson turns to his teammates and says, look, you gave me nothing.
Yeah, and he did well there, Alioski, because he sensed the danger, he sensed that Dawson was in trouble.
Alioski will now take the throw-in for Leeds United, midway inside the West Brom half. Click back towards Alioski again. He tries to backheel it down the line, looking for Dallas, but it takes a deflection off Gale, and it will be a throw-in which Holgate will try and take. Dallas just stands in front of him. That's an old Leeds United trick from the 1970s, that, as Holgate eventually takes it. Now Hegazi wide towards Adarabioyo, and Adarabioyo was outpaced by Hernandez, which is not something to put on your CV as Leeds eventually clear. Hegazi takes a ride on the back of Bamford, but neither player wins the ball, and it's got the look of two teams rather going through the motions at the moment with 8.5 minutes to play, and Leeds leading by 3-0, and West Brom showing no real sign of getting back into the game as Holgate fouls Dallas on the near side, and it will be a free kick to Leeds.
Yeah, it's great defending by Dallas. Such a good team player, Dallas. Puts the hard yards in. Good replacement for Harrison, who did a similar job on this side, this left-hand side. Vastly experienced player as well, an international player. Great substitute for Leeds to bring on.
Do you think it's a good thing to play teams around you at this stage of the season, or maybe elsewhere? But you look at Norwich, they've only got one team currently in the top 10 to play between now and the end of the season, which means they've got lots of sides who they'll be playing who are either fighting relegation or ostensibly got nothing to play for, and that can be dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that I just think you just can't look at the form or the league table or whoever you're going to play. I just think the Championship says if you're not at it on the day, anybody's capable of beating anybody else. And if you look at this game today, Leeds started round the front foot, West Brom still on the bus. They're a goal down after a minute, and then the game's gone.
Alioski will take the throw-in for Leeds on this near side. Darren Moore still clapping his hands, trying to cajole his team into some sort of response, but it's going to be a very miserable journey back for the Albion supporters as Bamford gathers on the edge of the penalty area, challenged by Dawson, who then slides into Rob Roberts, and it will be a throw-in to Leeds again. And there is a West Brom player down on this near side. I think it's Mason Holgate, I think he was caught by his own player as well.
Yeah, I think Dawson came through the back of both of them. Just left a bit on Holgate. Just looked a little bit ragged, Dawson. He's obviously frustrated with his team's performance and just got to stay on his feet.
And you can hear what the home crowd think of their side's performance here. This will be one of the high points of the season so far, against a team who are full of goals. They've nullified them and at times taken them to the cleaners.
But he couldn't have had a bigger injection of confidence if they tried, Leeds. You know, right on the brink of the run-in. It's just the fillip that they needed, just the tonic that they were looking for. From West Brom's point of view, they've got to find some real mental toughness and some character now to come from this result, try and get some others on the board.
Well, they will be 7 points off the top, West Brom, following this game, and they'll be 4 points away from the top two. Sheffield United, of course, playing on Monday evening, live on TalkSport 2 at Hillsborough in the derby. Holgate has come across to this near side, and if he can't continue, West Brom will be down to 10 men.
Yeah, I think he's going to be all right, but definitely felt the full force of that challenge.
Phillips now, wide towards the far side, and Hernandez, who really set the tone for this dominant Leeds performance. Hernandez once again comes in field, beyond Morrison, almost finds Dallas on the edge of the penalty area, but somehow West Brom will smuggle the ball away. Livermore finding Holgate back on his feet down the right. Alioski slides into the challenge from some distance away, but comes away with the ball. Bamford, a very upright runner, finding Click on the edge of the penalty area. Right foot shot from him as a real swinger, looking to curl it into the top corner, but it was too close to Johnston.
Yeah, just had 2 or 3 looks at that Click just to measure it up, but it gave Johnson a chance to get across his goal and read where the shot was going. Good effort from Click though.
Just under 5 minutes to play on TalkSport 2. And Leeds here are really sending out a message, leading West Brom by 3 goals to 0. And Casilla has not really had a shot to save in the second half. 35,888 is the crowd, not quite the biggest of the season. They had 36,500 here for the Norwich game. As Click is penalised for a challenge on the far side, and it will be a free kick. Morrison was the victim, and West Brom will have the opportunity to just try and get the ball away from their penalty area. But Bielsa is still a bundle of energy and anxiety inside that Leeds technical area. 3-0 up, 3 minutes to play, and he's still not relaxing.
No, he lives it, to be fair to him. His side has done him proud tonight. Wherever the action's been, there's been a white shirt, whether Leeds in possession or West Brom and Leeds closing them down. They've been fantastic.
Now Ayling coming forward, clips it over the top, looking for Roberts, but it's cleared away by Hegazi. Straight to Hernandez. The early ball from him looks for Alioski, and it's gathered by Johnston. And you look at the Leeds team, Bamford they brought in during the summer. Obviously the goalkeeper has come in during January. Apart from that, it's pretty much the same team which limped towards the end of last season, as Rodriguez spins away from a challenge and finds Morrison now working it wide to the left-hand side. Montero has the opportunity to try and dig out the cross, but he's challenged by Ayling. He does cross, but Phillips is there just to do the simple thing well, control and clear.
Yeah, he's been the best player on the pitch, Phillips, for me. Been absolutely outstanding. Just blocked stuff off in front of the back four. His passing's been brilliant. Real leader in that midfield position.
Guy Clark, our producer, points out West Brom have now conceded 3 goals in a game for the 4th time this season, and it's 14 goals in 8 games. That is not the sort of defensive record which will get you back in the Premier League.
No, it's not. And what it does is it does your goal difference in, which if you can get goals in front can be worth a point. But they've not really played at all tonight, West Brom. It's been really poor.
2 minutes to play. Leeds looking to add further gloss to their performance here. Casilla has the free kick, and it's wide to this near side, the left, looking for Alioski, who wins the header, and it will be a throw into West Brom a couple of yards from the corner flag, and they will need to pick themselves up very, very quickly, and they need to sort out their home form very, very quickly as well. Wins away from home have rather been masking the problems they've been enduring at the Hawthorns, but a loss like this brings it very sharply into focus. Hegazi now looking to bring the ball out, and West Brom will always try and bring the ball out, but that's often what causes them the problems.
Yeah, but I just look at the lack of movement up front. Hegazi there stepping in from the back. He's having to turn back on himself because there's absolutely no support and no runs from midfield or the strikers.
Morrison is caught by Click just inside the West Brom half, and Morrison tries to take a quick free kick, and Click was half a yard away and then kicks the ball away. He's living a charmed life. Yeah.
Do you know what? He's worked tirelessly in midfield, or Click. The whole Leeds midfield have been really dominant, and they've worked so hard, been really diligent with the tracking and picking up and marking of attacking midfield players running against them, and they've really deserved this win tonight.
Free kick is taken by Dawson up towards the edge of the penalty area, and it's a good looking ball in, which Janssen is there to hook away, and it will be a West Brom corner, and maybe a crumb of comfort for them right at the end of this game.
Yeah, they'll want the clean sheet now, Leeds, I would have thought. They won't want West Brom scoring at all, but they need some sort of crumb of confidence to take with them, West Brom.
Jamie Shackleton will be coming on shortly for Leeds. Another academy youngster who's been given an opportunity, and we are 3 added minutes away from the end of this game. As the corner from Montero comes to nothing, and on the ground Hernandez has won it back, and Leeds here can break. They've got both Dallas and Hernandez down the left hand side. Bamford peels away towards the far post. Click is also in space. Click now on the edge of the penalty area, set himself for the shot, and then collapses to the turf in mock anguish as it goes high over the top.
Yeah, he was never set to strike that. The ball's rolling across him. It's always a difficult ball to strike as the angle of the ball comes across you, but he's leaning back. The ball clears the bar.
Tyler Roberts is the player who comes off, and he wanders towards the far side to give himself the longest possible walk off the field. Well, he's not scored tonight, Tyler Roberts, but he's helped to give Leeds the platform.
Yeah, his work rate's been excellent. He's closed down, he's done all the ugly stuff, and he's also shown real moments of quality from his attacking midfield role. Real top performer tonight, deserves his applause.
Well, I think he gets high-fived by most of the team as he makes his way off towards this near side. Shackleton is the player who comes on. Only 3 starts, and this is 15th appearance from the bench. As Johnston clears downfield, and it's flicked on by Adebayo on the far side, but Ayling quickly wins it back, and now Bamford flicks it on, and Shackleton's first involvement is a burst into the penalty area. Dallas is getting forward to try and join in, but the cross is blocked by Dawson, and it's cleared away as far as Bamford on the far side, still keen to get his hat-trick here. Little flick from him, another flick from Shackleton, and it's played into the penalty area by Dallas. Shackleton now on the overlap square for Alioski! 4-0 to Leeds, and what a statement of intent this is. They have really sent out a message here tonight. Leeds are back, and they have their eyes firmly fixed on the Premier League. Leeds United 4, West Bromwich Albion 0.
Yeah, well, if it wasn't game over before, it definitely is now. And it's all about young Jamie Shackleton. Great little give and go, full of energy. Picks Alioski out with a fantastic pass across the 6-yard box. And to be fair to Alioski, he's deserved his goal tonight for his work ethic and his desire to get forward from left back. And he rolls the ball into the empty net. 4-0.
Alioski's 8th goal of the season. Well, they conceded 4 at the Hawthorns, and they have gained revenge here tonight at Ellen Road. And they are top of the league. And having lost to a side who had been beaten 7 times on the trot on Tuesday, it has been a Friday night to remember here for Leeds United at Ellen Road. They have utterly dominated one of their promotion rivals. West Bromwich Albion had no answer at all from the moment Pablo Hernandez fired in from long range, 16 seconds into the game. Patrick Bamford then scored either side of half-time, and the win was rounded off by Edjan Alioski with virtually the final kick of the game. Leeds are back on top of the table, and on this evidence, West Bromwich Albion have real problems to solve. Full time, Leeds United 4, West Bromwich Albion 0.